chanting the holy names and bringing the holy name to the Western countries, as well as also even while we were growing in India, we did not know Hari name, and only due to mercy of Srila Prabhupada that we actually get an opportunity to seek the holy name. So we're going to just first of all start with our prayers. So, Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So today basically we will be going through our introduction. Then we're also going to have an insight on the challenges in Japa and the lack of taste in Japa. So the call of the day is becoming serious about Japa, and that's now and here, not then and there. Then we'll talk some points about controlling the mind and the conclusion. So as you can see, what age are we in right now? Can anybody tell us? Okay. And can somebody, I'm sure somebody knows what that picture is, the first slide.
Earthquake.
Okay. Okay, yep. And what else can you see? Yep.
Floods.
So basically, Kali is age, right? You can see famines, you can see earthquakes, you can see starvation, you can also see so much envy and everything going on in this world, right? So as you can see, Kali Yuga is a age of destruction. You see, so many things happening, and every single time you switch on the TV is some other news and not a good news. They're always about destruction in the world, right? So as we can see, so Kali also, so what this is, so not only that it's an age of destruction, but it's also age of distrust, quarrel, and hypocrisy. So much enmity between the countries that, to get what they want, they do not mind and they do not have the consciousness that they can destroy anything and everything, including material, buildings, people. They don't care about the people that are there, that how many people lose life. There is no compassion. There is nothing in this Kali Yuga, right? Not only that, that is also the age of cheaters and the cheated. So, usually we were just trying to collect some pictures last night about trust and distrust. And college going kids, that's what they do. They're always like, this is my girlfriend, but on the back there's someone else who is they are actually dating. But that's how goes on, because I have a college going student in my house. I can correlate that. I always get to hear, mama, this is this. So of course it's always it's the age of the cheaters and the cheating. If you take a look at this, we have nothing good about Kali Yuga, right? So, do you think that there is anything good about Kali Yuga? Is there anything anybody can say something about Kali Yuga? What is so good about this age? Okay. Yeah. So the best thing actually about Kali Yuga, and actually this comes from 11th canto, in where one time one of the Navayogendras, Karabhajana Rishi, he has a conversation with Maharaj Nimi. And Maharaj Nimi, he gets instruction from this Rishi Muni that what is the thing that is the best about this Kali Yuga. And he gives different types of services that you can do to the Supreme Personality of Godhead according to age. And the process is also in place. So there is a process in everything. So the best part about Kali Yuga is actually the unlimited mercy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, right? That is actually the best. And as you can see from Srimad Bhagavatam, this was taken where, Parikshit Maharaj has been given instructions by Shukdev Goswami. And he says that, Kaler dosha, and we all can read responsibly, we can all read. Kaler dosha nide rajan, asti hai eko mahan guna, Kirtanadeva Krishnasya Mukta Sangha Param Vraje. So, Shukdev Goswami Maharaj says that, my dear king, although Kali Yuga is an ocean of faults, there is still one good quality about this age. Simply by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. What can happen? One can become free from material bondage and be promoted to the transcendental kingdom, right? So every yuga, as we said, there was Satya Yuga, the Dwapar Yuga, Treta Yuga, and a Kali Yuga. Every yuga has a process, and one thing about Kali that we have again over here is that again we can all read responsibly, and then I can go ahead and explain what it is. So, Krite yad dhyayato Vishnum, Tretayam yajata mukha, Dwapare pancharayan, Kalau tad dari kritanat. And what does that mean is, whatever results we got from sacrifices in the the first yuga, that is, which is the Satya Yuga, by performing sacrifices in Treta Yuga and also in Dwapar Yuga by serving the Lord's lotus feet, can be obtained by just simply chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So it's such a nice, sublime, easy. Prabhupada says that the process is very easy, but it's not, the process is simple, but it's not easy. So that's really, really what it is all about. So saying that, we just wanted to see so many instructions we've been given in Srimad Bhagavatam, Sri Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Charitamrita. Everywhere you see, it's all about the chanting the holy name of the Lord, right? So, it is evident that definitely if so many scriptures are talking about the glories of holy name, why are we having difficulty in doing that japa? So the first topic we would cover today is the challenges in japa. So what is actually keeping us back, and what challenges do we face on a day-to-day basis? And I'll tell you one thing, one of all, not just one, but all of this, they actually pertain to me, because I am actually offensive, and I'm also, I do everything that's written over here. So, but anyway, doing this class actually As I was talking to Damatapriya Mataji, I said, Damatapriya Mataji, I feel that, oh my God, I just don't know anything about this topic. All I'm doing is copy pasting Raman Krishna Prabhu's lectures. So she made such a good point. She goes, Mataji, don't worry. You know what? In ISKCON, everybody's allowed to just make copies. So it's okay. Don't worry about it. I said, okay, I'll take that. So what is the first challenge that we have in Japa? And I really have this because, types of japa is the first impediment that we have is sleeping while we're doing japa. Why does that happen that we sleep while we are doing japa? And I'll tell you my own example. Like even though I wake up early, but I am so much, the whole day just goes by doing your chores, morning chores, doing your prayers, going to work, coming back, doing all the other chores that are usually a housewife as well as working housewife does. You done, and by the time it's like 10 o'clock at night, and I'm like, oh my God, I still have to do my japa. Fine, I sit down with the beads, but what happens? Nothing but sleep. I'm like, okay, no, I gotta keep awake. So that's what happens. The reason we do this and the reason we are sleeping while doing the chanting is, what do? We actually don't prioritize our japa. We make that the last priority of the day. We do not keep the first priority. Like, okay, I want to get up in the morning, get my japa done. And this is a challenge. I've been in 15 years of Krishna consciousness. I'm still struggling with that. So the second type is yawning. Of course, when you're feeling sleepy, what are you gonna do? You keep yawning, and there goes your, as I don't know if anybody heard the lecture from His Grace Yugal Kishore Prabhuji, and he said, we are Mayavadis. And then he said, why you wonder why we are Mayavadis or atheists? Because we eat the japa. Because Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama. It's like we are not even paying attention to our japa. We're not even paying attention to Lord's name. All we are doing is to try to get the rounds done. That's it. That's the whole point we do. So that's another type of chanting. And then also prajalpa japa. So although we try to feel that we say we are devotees and everyone claims that, but as we know, we are in this age and we come with all of our anarthas. What do? We talk bad about people, and it's like Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Manasvi, what happened? What happened to that man? What did he do? Like, it's always talking about someone else, not paying attention to our japa, right? And then we also have, and I liked it, and I was asking Raman Krishna Prabhu. I said, Raman Krishna Prabhu, what is this radar japa? He goes, Mataji, have you ever seen that? I said, no, what is it? He goes, have you ever seen people? Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Oh my God, there is something over there. There is something lying on the floor. Can you pick this up? What are we doing? We're just not paying attention again to the japa. All we are doing is surfing the room while doing our japa, seeing what is there and what is not there, right? And actually, we do a lot of favor to Krishna by taking his name, because that is courtesy japa. It's like, hey Krishna, look, I'm taking your name. Look, I'm doing a favor to you. No, we're not doing a favor to him. We are actually favoring our lives. We are doing a favor to ourselves, our souls, right? Then other challenges that we were discussing, Ramakrishna Prabhu actually, again, these are all his notes, is distractions during japa. So, and I'm like, Prabhu, what is Shankha Chakra Gada Padma? He said, Mataji is, what is it? Your cell phones, and then your, driving while chanting, that are all your distractions. And, and also sometimes watching TV and the show is going on and I'm doing a japa. No, that's not recommended. And that's not a favorable thing in japa, right? And then also, sometimes what happens is devotees community, and especially when we are given services like a deity service, or right during like Janmashtami, like, oh Mataji, you're going to be a head pujari. Now what happens to me? Wow, I've been given the title of a head pujari. Right away comes what? Comes adoration, distinction, and we say, oh no, Prabhu, he does not know anything. I am actually the main person in japa. You do what I tell you. No, it doesn't happen like that. What should be happening is when external services are given to us, we try not to purify our internal process. So basically we ignore it, you know why? Because I feel that no one is looking at me. What does it matter if I do a fast japa or a slow japa or I don't do a japa? Who am I answering? I'm not answering to my husband. I'm not telling Ashish I only did 12 rounds today. I'm not answerable to anybody. I'm only answerable to myself. But you know what? You should be aware of that just by doing and thinking that no one is watching you, Krishna is definitely watching our efforts. Krishna is definitely watching us, right? So, and then the thing was, our chanting should lead to humility. We can be proud of our chanting. A lot of times, there are a lot of, people will say, I wake up at 4 o'clock. I finish all my chanting rounds till 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. In a way, it's a positive thing when people tell you that they wake up so early and do a japa, because it could have a positive impact on you. Hey, listen, this Mataji is doing, maybe I should try doing that, right? But sometimes it may lead to, you know what, she's just showing off just because she can wake up early. She does not know my schedule. She does not know my life or how does my life goes on. And she's just bragging because she can do it and I cannot do it. So, but that is not a good attitude towards chanting. Your chanting should make you more humble. Again, I'm not at that stage at all. And the worst of all, and where our challenges are, inattentive chanting. We do not pay attention to the name of the Lord. And believe me, every single time we say Krishna, Krishna is present here. He is ready to dance on our lips, provided we let him do that. And the problem is that we don't let him do that. But what makes us not see that Krishna? Because this is our own impurities that's not allowing us. That is actually a kind of a distance between us and Krishna, because we are actually, pushing ourselves. We are not making that step towards chanting his name attentively. Imagine, my daughter comes after a whole day's work and I ask her, how was your day? She starts telling me, Mama, I did this today. Mama, I had a difficult time. And I'm like, But what I'm really doing is not even paying attention to what she's saying. Maybe she must have gone through something that must have affected her, or maybe something that made her happy. Maybe she was promoted and she wants to share that news. But we are so busy in our own, concepts of life, things of life, and chores of our life, we don't even pay attention to the best person of our life, that is Krishna. Imagine how does he feel when we are chanting his name, but we are talking, but we are doing something else. And I'm cleaning and I'm talking, oh, my rounds are done. Oh, I did it when I was cleaning my vessels. I did it when I have the clicker, I can do it with that. No, that's not how Krishna wants you to do, or Krishna wants you to remember. Yes, he accepts anything you do, but in the end, it is our, if we want to improve, we have to overcome those challenges, right? And then, so, not only that, we have challenges in Japa. Why there are challenges is because we do not have a taste of Japa. So a lot of things when we eat or when we do things, I don't like that. No, but because you've not tasted that thing. How do you know the taste of a thing when you've not even tasted it? So you have to have the taste for something to like something. So that is what our problem is. Why do we lack a taste in Japa? Is again, we'll go with all the pointers. So because our senses are thieves. So what do we do is, when we are when we are chanting, or when we are chanting Japa, taking Lord's name, we are watching which sari is there. Oh my God, Manasi, look at this dress. This is so cute. What am I doing? I'm not paying attention. And because whatever we see, we want it. Whatever we hear, we want it. All of our senses are so actively participating in the material things that, oh my God, if you have it, why I do not have it? So that's where we are doing it. We are not, regulating our senses. We are not putting our senses to work in the right frame of mind. Rupa Goswami, he tells that chanting is so sublime and so nice that if you go, hold on one second, sorry. Yeah. It is like, sweet. But what happens to a person who has jaundice? If you give him a sweet, it works like a poison for him. He has such a distaste for the sweet. So don't be anything to give me. And actually, in the jaundice, what do you take? You have to give them sugar candy. You have to give them sugar cane juice, because that's the only way that will kill our jaundice. So we know there is something that we don't have. We know what is our ailment. We know what the medication is. The problem is we know the ailment, but we do not want to take the proper medication, right? And then also, in one of the Narsimha Karavalambam Stotram, which I would tell you one thing, sometime you should come in our Bhakti Vraksha and hear our little Lalita Sakhi, who has, by hearted the whole Lakshmi Karavalambam Stotram, and she sings in such a melody that it's amazing. And it's not now she's 9 years old. We've been hearing her from since she was 6 years old, and so nicely she does. And I never knew the meaning till we started doing the Lakshmi Karavalambam Stotram. Second thing is that, so what are we? We are actually our senses, not only our viveka means our intelligence. What is happening to our intelligence? It's been controlled by our mind. And what is the mind controlled by? The mind are controlled by our senses and the sense objects. And that is why we don't have taste in chanting or in japa. We also get very familiar with the holy name. It's like there was, I don't know if anyone knows the story about this Vibhishana. I would like to say that because, and I was asking Prabhuji, I said, Prabhuji, what happened in this case? So it was a very nice story that one time when Ravana was killed and the kingdom was given to Vibhishana, so that time Vibhishana requested Lord Rama. So they came to India. They wanted all to go to Ayodhya because they wanted to see the coronation ceremony of Lord Ramchandra. So then what happened is that they said that when they crossed the ocean, so Vibhishana made a request. He said, Lord Rama, I have a request. He said, what, Vibhishana, what would you like to do? He said, now that we have built the bridge, chances are that there might be invaders coming to Lanka. And I don't want anybody to cross over the ocean via the bridge and come to Lanka and invade us. So what I would like to do is, please, O Lord Rama, destroy this bridge. And as you know, the bridge was destroyed. So now, a couple of days later, Vibhishana said that to his soldiers, hey, you know what? Now you all return because I'm going to go to Ayodhya and I'm going to stay with Lord Rama for some time. In the meantime, go cross over the ocean. And they are like, we are not Hanuman. How can we cross over the ocean? So they said, okay, I'm doing one thing. I'm giving you something. Keep it in your hand and just cross over the ocean. So he bought a leaf and all he did was the name of Lord Rama was inscribed on it, folded, and he said, keep it in your hand and cross over the ocean. So while all the soldiers were crossing over the ocean, what happened is they said, oh my God, look at this. The ocean water looks like it was only till knee dip. So they were like walking in the ocean. They were not even trying to cross over the ocean. They said, that's so nice. You know what? What is the reason we are able to cross this ocean? So he said, you know what? Our Maharaj gave us a note. Let's see what that note is. What is the reason? Is that the reason we are crossing over the ocean? And they open it and they see Lord Rama's name. He said, this is Lord Rama. He was there. He was crying for his wife, and he came and he invaded, and Ravana was killed, and he took Rama. He's just an ordinary person. They just threw all those names in the ocean, and everyone else, what happened? They were not able to cross the ocean. That is the thing of a holy name. That is the power of holy name, and we miss on that particular thing, So that was the story about Vibhishana's soldiers. Of course, we know we have we make so many aparadhas all the time. We do nam aparadh. When we're chanting the names, we're making aparadh. We do dham aparadh. Whenever we go to the dham, we do not respect the dham. Every single time we go to Mathura, Vrindavan, we only look at the the dirt and the filth that are in the cities, but we do not look at the higher purpose, right? So we do Dham Aparadh. Also, not only just Dham, and the top of all is we commit so much Vaishnava Aparadh. We commit a lot of Vaishnava Aparadh. That causes lack of taste in our japa, right? And also, not just that is all external that we do. Internally, we have so many anarthas, right? We have the lust, we have the greed, we have the anger. Something that I want and I cannot get it, what happens? I just become so angry. And why? It started with my lusty desire. It caused anger. And there is something fear. Oh my God, what happens if I lose my house? If I lose my car? If I lose my job? Every time there is fear in our minds going on, right? And the biggest of all is our, not only just avidya. What do we think is, we have lectures over lectures, and I'm sure everyone will witness this. We are told we are not the body, we are the soul, right? But the avidya is, we are decorating our bodies and not taking care of the soul, which is encaged in our body. We're just overlooking totally to the soul that is within us. And recently my husband's aunt passed away, and all we were thinking is, she was right there alive. We were seeing her, although she was not even talking to anyone, doing nothing, but at least she was breathing. But within seconds, what happened? That it only remained a dead body. That was the consciousness, right? That was the Atma. And we say Atma and Paramatma, right? The soul and the super soul. But we always worry about the body. And we always dress ourselves, try to look nice, but the inside we are not working on. And then what happens is that then again, the stages of chanting have been given. So Krishna says, doesn't matter. If you want to commit Nama Parad, but keep chanting, because one day will come and that you might actually reach the stage of Nam Abhas. Okay, I'm chanting. Okay, I'm taking Krishna's name. Let me understand the name of Krishna, Rama, Hare, at least little by little. Of course, we don't know in this birth we're going to go to the Shuddha Sattva stage. We don't know. But at least we can try. That is what all we're asking for, right? And then the next topic this is the urgency of today's day. Since this is Holy Name Week, what do? We need to become serious about japa. And it is now. It's not, I'll do it later on. No, it's now, right? So, Lord Sri Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita that the last instruction that he gives to Arjuna is Sarva Dharman Parityajya Mamekam Sharanam Braja. Now, Mam Ekam Sharanam Braja means take only shelter of me, right? But how do we do that? Right? He also gives a process. Always think of me, always work for me, always talk about me. Manmana bhavmad bhakto madhyajima namaskuru, right? Always think about me, work for me, talk about me, whatever you do, offer it to me, and I will accept it, right? So then the second pointer we came across was that why is it so necessary that we need to become serious about japa is, they say 99 researches show that 99% of our progress in Krishna consciousness depends on our chanting. But what really keeps us back is the laziness and the craziness, right? I feel that whatever way I do the japa, it's going to be effective. So why put in effort? And then there are people who will give example. Ajamal committed all the abominable sins all his life. Did not do anything. Only he called his Narayan. It happened to be his son. He got Vishnu Dutas came and took him. Maybe that was it. But you do not know. That was a Jamal. Those are the instructions for us actually. Those are stories in the Bhagavatam to reiterate the importance of the holy name, right? How so imagine if Ajamila just could say the word which he did not intend, took him, Vishnu Dutas came in. If we become serious, what could be the end result, right? Because death can knock at any time. And are we ready that if death comes to me right now is this table, would I be able to remember Krishna? I will share my personal experience. Every couple of months, again, I go to the doctor. I have to do my blood test, as you all know. And every 3 months, Ashish looks at my face. What happened? You have your mammo? You have your this thing? You have ultrasound? Don't worry. Mama, you've been so anxious. Nothing is going to happen. Nothing is going to. I really come across near death experience on the bed when I'm getting my memo because I don't know what the outcome is going to be and how my life is going to change. When we sold our house, the time we sold our house at 2 o'clock was my closing, and 4 o'clock I came to know about my ailment. I'm telling Ashish, should we be happy that we sold our house? Or now should I be sad because now I have something else to worry about? So we don't know. I thought these things only happen in movies, that one day the hero is here and then something happens to them. But it happened to me in my life. So that was an eye-opener for me. So I don't know what might come when, right? So we really need to pay attention to the ultimate day when we might or we might not be able to, take the name of Krishna. And it's His mercy. If His mercy, only then we'll be surrounded by devotees. If not, we do see people. We used to go to the nursing home. We always saw there were people suffering alone. And think about that, So we really do need to get on the board with the chanting and japa. And then, what can we give to Krishna other than love for Him, right? Krishna only wants our love. He does not want anything else, right? So this was a nice pastime of Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur. That one time when he was visiting Bengal, and when his disciples saw him, it was raining heavily. It was raining cats and dogs, and it was knee-deep water in there. As soon as the disciples saw Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj, they didn't know what to do. It was so much water, and they did Dandavat to Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj. And he said, what happened? Why you guys? He said, Maharaj, Swamiji, this is our way of expressing our love. Meaning, imagine, all they did is Dandavat, and they did not think about that, I'll be in water, I'll be doing that. That's what Krishna was. Simple acts of our things, that we can offer to Krishna, right? And then that today we did sing the Golokera Premadhana Harinam Sankirtan. The reason I chose this was because Harinam, what is it saying? It's coming from Goloka Vrindavan. It's straight away coming from Srimati Radharani and Sri Shyam Sundara. See, it's very difficult with all our anarthas, aparadhas, and everything that we commit to actually go to Golok Vrindavan. We don't know how many lifetimes we're going to take to see that Rasalila. But we have one mercy potency, Gauranga Mahaprabhu, who have been freely distributing this Harinam and holy name. They go to street, they didn't even discriminate that only certain people were allowed to take the names. They gave it to one and all, right? And what to speak about us? We have been given this so much facility that, we are sitting here, we have the deities, we have the devotees, we have association, we have everything. Yet, it's our inner problems due to which we are not able to do this. So, all the shortcomings we talked about, the Kali Yuga, right? The challenges in Japa, also, the lack of taste in Japa, becoming serious with Japa, right? But how can we do this? So the next topic what we chose was controlling the mind. The first and the most important thing is we have to take our mind away from things that are bothering us or attracting us or taking our attention while we are doing the japa. So one good thing is, so nice. These were like, So the first one was Manaha Samskaranam. So what that means is basically a lot of people do that. They will sit in front of the deities and they will pay attention to each part of the deity and then they will chant. Some people feel more like looking at the Harinam, like we go to Ramana Krishna Prabhu's house and he has this Hare Krishna Mahamantra written right in the front of his temple. So if you wanted to chant and if you want to not look here or there, one way you can control your mind is bringing it to the names of the Lord, right? And then Shocham is cleanliness. Not only that, external cleanliness is required by bathing and keeping ourselves clean, but also internal purity is required. When we take care of our anarthas and all the other, aparadhas, then internal purity will also come. And the third one is mauna. What we need to do is, and I am actually guilty of it, I talk more about mundane things. So the lesson to me, Ramana Krishna Prabhu gave me is talk less about mundane things, talk Krishna Katha, right? And this was really good, I liked it. It says mantra artha chintana. That is meditating on the meaning of the holy names. We need to know the essence of the Mahamantra, right? And then having patience, which is the Avyagratva, and not just because we want to finish our rounds, we want to chant, not to finish the rounds, we want to chant the rounds, hearing one name at a time, right? And persistence is never losing hope, because one day, even though we may be right now doing Nama Parad, we have to hope for Nama Bhas and Shuddha Sattva, right? That is. And hopeless is only for the atheist people. For devotees, it is full of hope, right? So there is hope. We will definitely get there one day, if not in this birth, one birth at least, right? So, and then, so we were going through the conclusion as to see what would be the nicest way to do it. And then we found this is the second last and the last sloka of the Srimad Bhagavatam. And here also instruction is given us. And again, it's nice to read all of us because it kind of gives us very nice way we can do it. So we can all chant responsibly. Nama Sankirtanam Yasya Sarva Papa Panashanam Pranamo Dukkha Samanas Tam Namami Harim Param. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Lord Hari, the congregational chanting of the holy name, whose holy names destroys all sinful reaction, and the offering of obeisances unto whom relieves all material suffering, right? So chanting the holy name, that is the recommended process, right? And the best way we can do is every Friday we meet, we associate with devotees. How lucky are we? There are people who just wasting their time, thinking about where they will go to eat, what movie they will watch, where they will go, which bar they will go. Krishna has been so merciful to us that he has given association of devotees, right? And then, okay, so there you go. And so the Mahamantra of today is always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna, always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna, always, always, always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. And the last slide, if you guys have anything, there is a gentleman actually wearing a brown kurta, standing on the back with a bead bag. That is the direction you guys need to go with questions, because me, I can't answer. But we can definitely take one or two questions. Yeah. I'll try, okay?
Yeah. So I was like, you were talking about chanting, right? Ramakrishna Prabhu said that we are like radars. So when we walk, we constantly look at other things, what other people are doing, what anything
Yeah.
we come across, right? So what about if we, like, I try to do this whenever I go outside to chant. I look at my surroundings, but I try to think of Krishna in a way that it is, I try not to commit, knowingly I try not to commit Vaishnava Aparadha. So when you see Krishna in every living being, Krishna is there, right? So how can I always divert my attention when I chant and walk outside? How can I always stay focused even though I'm looking at something?
Yeah, so Siabhai, as you know, Krishna says, Rasaham Apskandeya, right? He's present everywhere. He's in the taste in water, right? He's everywhere. So when you are walking out and chanting, actually you're doing a very big favor to the birds and the beasts and the trees and surroundings. Because although we feel that they are jivas, like they are sthara, the stavar, but that doesn't mean by you chanting the holy name and trying not to commit aparadha, you're actually benefiting them. Because you believe it or not, the birds and the beasts and everybody, they hear when they. You remember Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's one of the drawings that we see is when he was going through the jungle. He used to chant loud because he knew that even the dogs and the cats and everybody hears it. Whoever has Atma, whether it's living, non-living, stones, everybody has Atma. So when you're chanting, they are also, not only that you're benefiting because you're trying to see Krishna and everything, but at the same time, they are also benefiting from by hearing you speak the Lord's name. Right? So when my Prabhu puts when he gives bird food, we make sure that we do as Om Keshwaya Nama, Om Narayana Nama, because whenever we're taking the food for the birds, we make sure that, oh Krishna, make sure the next birth that they have, they get a human form. From where by taking this, they will progress, and their devotional service will begin. So whenever we are giving even to this, you have a cat in the house and all that, just make a prayer when you do that, because she will benefit from that. She will benefit from that. I hope I have answered your question. I'm not too knowledgeable. Copy paste. I'm a queen of copy paste. So.
Hare Krishna, Mother.
Hare Krishna.
Vaticha class. One question. For chanting, we are required to repeat the names again and again. So why do we repeat the name?
Mini Hare Krishna and
No, just keep repeating. So why the repetition is needed? Why the repetition is needed so much?
repetition is needed in the holy name, because that is the mantra. That is it's Kali Yuga, a process has been given, and there are a lot of mantras. See, according to the age and the process was given, right? When in the in the first yuga, when we hear stories about Prahlad Maharaj, we hear stories about Dhruva Maharaj. The mantra was Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. We still do that mantra, but today's mantra is Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, right? The reason we are repeating those is because that is the recommended medication for our ailment of today's age. And you see, but I always feel that how many times we do Hare Krishna? 16 times, 16 malas, 108 times, right? You try to take your bead and try to sing one song for 16 rounds and 108, you will lose the taste. Because it is that by chanting and repeating, what you're doing is you're developing a taste for the Harinam. So to develop that, repetition is needed. And they say 28 times you say something, that will never go away from your mind. So we don't know how many times we chant in a day, right? It's because that way, every single time you say his name, he is present. And what could better thing that when the final exam comes, at least he'll be in front of us, right? He'll be, at least, we'll have a chance. If I did not prepare for this class today, how would I have been able to give this class? If I was given this slide right now, I don't know the story of Vibhishan. I don't know the story. What happened? It needed reading. It needed practice, right? That's when I was able to little bit speak on this today, even without having no knowledge in that. And the names are just very simple, easy, and it gives you a chance to get closer to him. Okay, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji, for the wonderful class. Mataji, you mentioned about controlling the mind.
Mm-hmm.
So, by controlling the mind, how the soul is going to get benefited?
Okay, so you know the diagram that Lord Krishna is that, the sense and the sense objects, right? So the working senses are superior to the dull matter, right? The mind is superior to the working senses, right? The intelligence is superior to the mind, and the soul is superior to the intelligence. So when you use your intelligence in controlling your mind and your senses is where your soul will be satisfied, right? And you will be able to destroy this lust that is in your body. So that is why controlling the mind is so necessary, because it's in the middle. Above the mind is the intelligence. It's like, the mind is in the middle of intelligence and soul, and the mind is in the middle of senses and objects and sense objects, right? So if you direct your mind towards your sense and your sense objects, you're never going to be able to control it, because it will run everywhere. It will run in all directions. It will run. So the being in the center, it's just like we are Tathastha Jeev, right? We either have a choice to go to the hellish planets, or we have a choice to go up. The mind is in the middle. Either we can control the mind by controlling those senses, or by intelligence we can control the mind. Without that, we cannot control the mind. It's everywhere, right? I hope I have answered your question, because controlling the mind is necessary. Otherwise, it's going to take us. I'm always chanting, and I'm in India. I'm talking to it's always like that. So we need to just bring back. Krishna is there. He's listening to you. He's looking at you. At least take a moment to look at him and take his name. So I hope I have given a satisfactory answer.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, Prabhu.
Yeah. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for giving me an opportunity.